by the time he is.
שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Welcome to the Ark Synagogue on a very cold evening here in Northwood. But let us bring warmth into our lives, firstly by singing together how good it is and pleasant when brothers and sisters live together in harmony, and also by lighting our Shabbat candles to welcome in the Sabbath. So on page 75, would you please rise?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kibishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
Lahadlik.
shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Sounds like the other one as well, though.
Oh, thank you. Stage fright.
There we go. Shabbat Shalom. Please be seated. The Sabbath has descended to enfold us in its mantle of peace. It brings to us the special gift of time to embrace family and friends, to reflect more deeply on the meaning and purpose of our lives, and to worship in the beauty of holiness. May our Sabbaths always be sanctuaries of love and devotion, bringing contentment to our hearts, happiness to our homes, and blessings to our people.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShabbat, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 77. The Eternal One reigns, let the earth rejoice.
Let the many isles be glad.
Clouds and darkness surround you.
Righteousness and justice are the foundation of your throne.
Your lightnings illumine the world.
The earth sees and trembles.
Mountains melt like wax before you, O God.
Before the ruler of all the earth.
The heavens proclaim your righteousness.
And all the peoples behold your glory.
Zion hears and is glad.
The daughters of Judah rejoice in your judgments.
For you are supreme over all the earth.
You are exalted above all the gods.
Light dawns for the righteous.
And joy for the upright in heart.
Let the righteous rejoice in you.
And give thanks to your holy name. Page 92, when you found it, please rise.
Amen.
Praise the one to whom our praise is due.
We praise the Eternal One, to whom our praise is due forever.
Please be seated. We continue together. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, sovereign of the universe,
whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness, and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. We praise you, O God, whose word makes evening fall.
Please rise.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Please be seated. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, eternal one, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule, and then, full of joy, we sang together.
ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
And as we think of all of those who require a shelter of peace above them and around them at this moment in time, even if they are in physical jeopardy, as we think of Karina Ariev, a hostage member of the Kol HaNeshama community in Jerusalem, who we think of each Shabbat and indeed every day. Let us read together, hoping that these prayers matter and mean something to us, and we hope somehow move across continents and spaces. Grant, eternal God, that we may lie down in peace. Let us rise up to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your wise counsel,
and for your name's sake be our help. Shield us from sickness and war, from famine and distress, and keep us from wrongdoing. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are our guardian and deliverer, a gracious and merciful God. Guard our going out and our coming in, that now and always we may have life and peace. We praise you, O God. May your sheltering peace descend on us and all who dwell on earth.
Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach u'via tehillatcha. Adonai sefatai tiftach u'via tehillatcha.
Baruch
atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים.
קדוש אתה ונורא שמך, ואין לנו אלוה מבלעדיך.
ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated.
שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
Together,
God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments, and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. רצה אדוני אלוהינו ועמך ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל, ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך. ברוך אתה אדוני, שעותך לבדך, ירא נעבוד. מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, לעולם ועד. צור חיינו, מגן אישנו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. נודה לך ונספר את תהילתך, על חיינו המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפרודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותיך וטובותיך, שבכל עת ערב ובוקר וצהריים. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך, ולך נאה להודות.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, נשיאים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, נשיאים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך הדור, נכון השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך הדור,
Adonai, Oseh HaShalom. It's an interesting, but maybe somewhat peculiar custom that in almost all languages, it is seen as normative to greet each other with a question about the other person's well-being. How do you do? Wie geht's? Ça va? Ma shlomech? The sociologist Kate Fox calls it the Hail Fellow Well Met formula. Of course, anyone familiar with the custom knows that the question isn't really a question about the other person's well-being. And while Kate Fox describes the how do you do greeting as establishing warmth and interest in the other person, being both friendly and yet restrained, the question can also feel empty when it is absolutely clear that the person asking it doesn't care a bit about how you're actually doing. For me, one of the starkest reminders of the impact of the atrocities of the 7th of October was that I found myself struggling to know how to respond to these simple questions of greeting. And I know I'm not alone in that. Is it okay to say, I'm fine or I'm okay, when nothing seems fine or okay? And at the same time, things were feeling so tough and heavy, I hardly felt like drawing further attention to it at the start of every conversation. And I worried about my interlocutors. Was it fair to dump all of my not okayness on them just because they had politely followed an established greeting ritual? In conversation with my friends, in particular with my Israeli friends, I found that the response that felt most genuine to me was, nothing is okay, but it's okay not to be okay. Part of my own journey of accepting the impact of that tragic day in October was taking the time and giving myself permission to embrace how I was feeling, owning that brokenness as part of my life story. The author and professor of social work, Brené Brown, writes in her book, The Gift of Imperfection, about her own experience of facing a breakdown. And she says, I now see how owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing that we will ever do. I now see that cultivating a wholehearted life is not like trying to reach a destination. It's like walking toward a star in the sky. We never really arrive, but we certainly know that we're heading in the right direction. I now see how gifts like courage, compassion, and connection only work when they are exercised every day. I now see how the work of cultivating and letting go is not to-do list material. It's not something we accomplish or acquire and then check off our list. It's life work. It's soul work. As a rabbi, I would add to Brené Brown's description that this is spiritual work, religious work. Our tradition teaches in Pirkei Avot that the world stands on three things. Ha'olam omed, al shlosha dvarim ha'olam omed, on Torah, on worship, and on gmilut chasadim. The term gmilut chasadim, normally translated as acts of loving, is normally translated as acts of loving kindness or the giving of loving kindness. The rabbis make it clear that it is a concept distinct from tzedakah, charity, as it says in the Talmud. Gmilut chasadim is more important than tzedakah for three distinct reasons. Charity can be provided only to the poor, while gmilut chasadim can be given to the rich and poor. Charity can only be given to the living, while gmilut chasadim can be bestowed upon the living or the dead. And charity can only be offered with money, while gmilut chasadim can be given also through assistance. But gmilut chasadim, acts of loving kindness, it's not just something that we give to others. It is also something we must grant ourselves. What does this look like? It is, as Brown puts it, engaging in our lives from a place of worthiness. It means cultivating the courage, compassion, and connection to wake up in the morning and think, no matter what gets done and how much is left undone, I am enough. It's going to bed at night thinking, yes, I'm imperfect, unvulnerable, and sometimes afraid, but that doesn't change the truth that I'm also brave and worthy of love and belonging. On this Shabbat, as we mark Mental Health Awareness Shabbat and draw attention to the important work of Jamie, the Jewish mental health charity, we are reminded that granting ourselves gmilut chasadim, acts of loving kindness, is often much more challenging than granting it to others. Just as our greeting rituals suggest, we are conditioned to pretend that everything is fine all the time, implying that somehow there's something wrong with us if we are not fine. But embedded in the idea of gmilut chasadim is the recognition that what keeps the world standing in place is not the pretense of perfection, but the work we do to live with the gift of imperfection. It's okay not to be okay. As the sage Leonard Cohen sang so beautiful for us in Anthem, and this one is for Judy, ring the bells that still can ring, forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Amen. Shabbat shalom. And I hope I didn't make the choir. Oh, I made the choir cry again. I promised I wasn't going to make the choir cry, but it was maybe trying too hard. We can make this love from love.
From love, and we create that around ourselves with wonderful people as well. Rabbi Leah shows up for so many people, and so it's wonderful when special friends from around the world do so as well. Auden Solovey, whose poetry we often read out in this service, joining us from snowy Denver, suffering from COVID. and Howard Berman in the much warmer climes, the other side, very good best friends of another generation of rabbis within this congregation as well. How wonderful it is that we all show up for each other wherever we are. For now, we move to our concluding prayers on page 519. Page 519. Please rise. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen va'amen. Baruch Adonai Elohim Elohei Yisrael. Osei niflaot levado. Baruch Shem kavodo le'olam. V'yimelech kavodo et kol ha'aretz. Amen va'amen.
The eternal God shall rule over all the earth. On that day, the eternal God shall be one and known to be one. May your love, O God, rest upon us as we rest our hope in you. All the nations that you have made shall come and bow down before you and honor your name.
Let God be praised by day. Let God be praised by night. Let God be praised when we lie down. Let God be praised when we rise up. Avinu Shebashamayim, our God in heaven, let your unity be acknowledged and your sovereignty established forever. Reign over us now and always. Page 524. On this Shabbat, we recall the yahrzeits of those remembered in our community. Sarah Daniel, the wife of Joe and mother of Saul. Ben and Gertie Schiller, the parents of Gillian Moss, grandparents of Robin, Pip, and Davina. Samuel Leaf, the grandfather of Ali Elton. Jeanette Soloway, the mother of Val. Litzy Gordon, the mother of Michael. Ruth Brill, wife of Aubrey and mother of Sarah and Mark. Lionel Austin, the father of Philip. Daniel Wolfe, the father of Alan. Alan Cohen, the uncle of Rachel Rickeisen. Harry Criven, the uncle of David Walton and Mimi Konigsberg. Ivor Green, the father of Sarah and Rona. Tilly Cohen, the mother of Annabel Cohen. Eric and Doreen Julia Frace, the parents of Neil. And Clifford Hymans, late member of our community, remembered by the earliest, I would think, of members of the community. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing for us. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalav v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shemei Rabba mavarach le'olam ulamei amaya, yitbarach v'ishtabach v'itpa'a v'tromam v'itnaseh, v'tada v'taleh v'talal shemei d'kodesha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'miran be'amad imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min Shemaya, Chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'al kol b'nei Adam, v'imru amen. Please be seated. In a few moments, we're going to be concluding with a song which is not in your sheets, but many people will know, and at least if you don't know the words, you'll be able to wave your hands along to it. You'll see why as soon as we start it.
Like I make them up because I can't see as far as the music.
There you go.
It's okay.
I've worked out that the average age of our January bar mitzvahs is 56. Go figure. You need to go back to January 5th to sort of like see the first reason why that is. But tomorrow we're so delighted to be celebrating the bar mitzvah of Fiona Holding. And really it will be a wonderful celebration tomorrow. So join us to be able to celebrate with Fiona. And if you're not here tomorrow, to wish her mazel tov this evening. Also, Cheder session as usual as well.
Absolutely.
We
And
can-
then the following week, Ellis bat mitzvah.
Then the following, yes, the following week, then we got our 13-year-old mitzvah. It's a bit boring, really. But also, in terms of Guinness Book of Records, we have tomorrow night at 199th Havdalah.
Yes.
Our 199th Havdalah. We started doing Havdalah, which is the ritual to conclude the Sabbath, online during COVID. And we've kept on going. And Ellie and Nova, who are joining us now, and others joining us in the Kiddush Zoom room, Ellie in Cape Cod and Nova in Netherlands, are part of our regular Havdalah crew. It is a very, very special space. A space in particular, if you're ever feeling a little bit lonely or want a little bit of company, or you want some joy in your life, it's a perfect space to be. 199 tomorrow. And of course, that means the following week, please do join us, even if you don't normally join us, come and join us for a 200th.
Maybe we can do 200 people for the 200th
That is,
Havdalah.
let's see what we can do. The
I'm
amazing
going to
thing
do it
is,
from a bat mitzvah party, so maybe I can cheat
you can
and
cheat
just
and count them
get
in.
them all in.
when traditional Jews might sort of schlep people in for a shiva to make up the numbers at a shiva, we'll make them schlep people in for Havdalah. I'm pretty much can guarantee as well that Paul and maybe Howard as well will have baked a cake or something like that. So
They've definitely got T-shirts.
a lot of craziness goes on there. But let's conclude this service literally hand in hand, being together as we are right now across various different time zones and a lot of space, but also in this sanctuary as well. Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
And we hope that however you feel, if you felt joyous as you came in, well, we've heightened that. And if you felt a bit down, we've brought a little bit of joy into your life. We're going to bring the Kiddush forward and share the glasses around and take some challah as well. As we make Kiddush within the sanctuary, it will enable our wonderful Kiddush crew to be able to celebrate with us in the sanctuary as well, and then to be able to chat on. Carla and David, how fantastic to see you in Dublin. And for everybody online as well, you can see the link at the bottom of the screen if you want to join our wonderful crew. And Make's just joined from Dublin as well. We've got from Lincolnshire joining us, and even those around the corner. If you're not going to join us now, we wish you Shabbat Shalom, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.